It is true that the President's televised address to the nation does not contain the word terrorist or terrorism. However, what the President said on TV is different from the transcript released by the Government Information Agency, GINA, which the President has authority over. Now, GINA headlined the President's address with the words, "An act of terrorism against the development of Guyana." The parliamentary opposition has stopped attending meetings of the Special Select Committee on the Anti-Money Laundering and Countering the Financing of Terrorism bill, saying they will only be back at the table when President Ramotar withdraws his statement. President Ramotar over the weekend came out with an address to the nation blasting the opposition parliamentarians who voted down the Hydro Amendment Bill and the motion to up the guarantee to public corporations to $150 billion. The Office of the President is now saying that since the President did not mention the word terrorism in his televised address, the inclusion of that terrorist tagline in the transcript was a mistake.
President has insisted that he never did.
Dr. Roger Luncheon, the chief spokesperson at the Office of the President, suggested that the draft transcript is what was sent out by the government's information arm and not the final version. Capital News received that transcript via email a mere 30 minutes before the President's address was aired. And so with the time it took to record the President's speech and then drop it off at television stations to be aired, it is more than likely that that statement was sent out after the President recorded his address. But even if the wrong copy was sent out, the government's information arm has not said a word acknowledging that the wrong transcript was sent out. As it is, the Office of the President is leaving it up to a case of believe what you hear and not what you read.
Maybe it's a good thing we can't read and write and we only could listen. Because the man who listened to the President would never have been led or misled by that transcript.
At the end of the day, the issue that caused the walkout by the opposition from the parliamentary committee must get back on the table, and Dr. Luncheon indicated that the parties will have to get down back to negotiations on ensuring that the Amila Falls hydro project goes through.
I tell you mustn't get involved in man or woman story.
On Thursday, the President will meet with stakeholders, and while some of the time would be used to criticize the opposition, Luncheon said common ground has to be found to get the problems resolved.
We have to rail against this. We have to condignly take these people to shreds. But we have to do more than that. You still got to put it back on the front burner. Because believe you me, this hydropower facility is transformative. This hydropower facility has to be implemented. And therefore, after we've done all the cussing up and quarreling and whatnot, we still have to find a way of putting it back on the front burner and progressing the whole initiative according to some plan of action.
Thursday's stakeholder meeting takes place at the International Conference Center.